Moshi moshi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, hello, my gods. Hello. How is it going? I've shown you my hallowed chalice, right? Yeah. I have the hallowed chalice with some wine in it.
I'm ready.
For maximum glory, you know?
Yes, yes. Now you can swirl it during the court trial.
Yes, my hallowed chalice. It's quite the jump we've made from last game where we just have been drinking like a bunch of coffee during streams to now it's just like wine. Definitely wine in my blood.
Oh, I don't have a beverage with me. Let me go get one.
Well, that sounds like it might be a you
Yeah,
problem.
in case there's a hydrate redemption.
Oh shoot, you're right. I should get a
Yeah.
I should get a Yule hydration as well.
Yes.
Wow. Hello, Brandon. Welcome back to the Women Respecting Club. I'm gonna turn my my audio up a little bit. Stop! You can't hydrate yet. Okay, let's see. I've been tinkering with my audio settings recently, so you'll have to bear with me and let me know if I'm like too quiet on the stream. But yes, I'm gonna get some hydration. Okay, hello.
Okay. I have obtained a beverage. Or rather, I've obtained water. Water isn't a beverage.
I've obtained a beverage that isn't water. Mostly just because it's an electrolyte solution, which is to say it's off-brand Pedialyte because need to be hydration. So
Yes.
wow, 1 year.
Whoa.
Welcome back. Yeah, been streaming for a bit now, huh? Oh my god, the resubs just keep coming. They just keep coming.
Goodness.
Yeah, man, we have been streaming for a hot second. Do you remember when we started Ace Attorney? I don't remember. My
No.
chat is still emote only. Oh, one sec. That's bizarre. Okay. Oh no, it's not. Yeah, it is not an emote only, and it's not in sub only, so it should be fine, honestly. Oh, you had to refresh? Oh, I see. Yeah, sometimes it's weird. It's like a little weird with the like very beginning of the stream, I tend to find. But yeah, we're probably not gonna go for too long today, just because I'm still feeling a little under the weather from me boosty shots.
Yeah.
But we have not played for a couple weeks, so we definitely have to get back into it. You're so
Yeah,
tired?
yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. Okay, why don't we boosty? Yeah, let's get right into it, shall we? Yeah, I had to. It was an ordeal finding my booster shot. I gotta say, it's
Really?
Yeah, because they were just like booked way out. So
Wow.
yeah, I'm officially boosted. Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Yeah. But I had to. I was like looking for one a couple weeks ago, and like they were booked pretty much till like mid-January, and then I like happened to
Wow.
like look again a couple days ago, and there was like one slot open, on December 31st. So
Wow.
yeah. So I managed to get it. So that's nice. I'm just feeling a little under the weather still. So.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes?
Yes. So true. To be or not to be? That is indeed the question, Mr. Naruhodo.
You're not booked at all, and that concerns me. Yeah, that sounds about right for Texas.
Yeah.
To be or not to be brushed off? That is the question. And the answer is all too clear.
If you're remembering what's happened in this game, by the way, our homie, the man who wrote the cat and the moon,
Yeah.
he got
Window tax. Yeah, window
Yes.
taxes. That's
he got
literally it.
he's being tried or charged with murder because he was the only one in the vicinity when a woman got stabbed.
Mordor.
Or not. Well, not murder yet, but if she dies, then it's murder.
Oh, that's right. I mean, that means
Yeah.
she's probably gonna die, right?
Let's leave Mr. Sholmes in peace, shall we?
Oh, that's right. We talked to Mr. Sholmes. I think we can move on to our next location.
Clover, go lay down and stop breathing in my face. She's just sitting here panting at me.
19th February. If she dies, then it's murder, as if there's no crime if she survives. I don't know, if she survives, it's just attempted murder. Mr. Garadub's room. Ah, you pair again. Tell me, was the detective chap, I forgot his name, still hard at work down there?
Mr. Herlock Sholmes?
Ah, yes, rings a vague bell. All that detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there. Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan.
Oh,
Now
dear.
then, why don't you tell me what— Ah! For the umpteenth time, woman, will you watch what you're bally well doing?
I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir.
Ah, yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave, if you'd be so kind. Ace Attorney isn't normally as animated. Yeah, Dan, you haven't been here in a while.
Oh, yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all your assistance.
Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out. Oh yeah, Sean. Our next stream is at 1 p.m. tomorrow, so don't forget that. You should be up for that. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garadeb is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging. You gotta get sleep? Lol. Oh, wait. I'm talking. It's so soon. Dan, I don't know how you live. I can pound on your door if you're not awake. That's true. What? What?
Wait!
What?
I like that your cursor is right on his butt.
I'd recognize that ass anywhere. Ah. What's he doing over there?
What is he? Mr. Sholmes! Aha! We meet again, my dear fellows.
Good gracious! Why did you sneak in here?
Herlock Sholmes, sir, at your service.
It's still so funny to me that in the original version, he's actually just Sherlock Holmes.
Whatever were you doing over by the window? I am given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madam. Yet, sadly, cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such an observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here.
Well, keeping an eye to one's window at dusk is prudent to do in London, I'm gathering.
And one other thing, Mr. Naruhodo.
Speaking of this case, which we haven't seen in a while, wow, we really don't have a lot of evidence. This is so funny.
No.
Oh, me?
I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind.
Huh.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Wait, he's not talking about... Is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon. My Kokoro's not ready.
Drama. Do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? There's a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo?
I think so.
There is just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. Mr. Gerardab, though it would seem you are a military man of considerably distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first-rate. I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I have been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements.
I beg your pardon?
The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care.
Huh?
And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. Mr. Naruto, look!
The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on. How? How could you possibly?
How could I possibly know? You mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir.
Wait, that can't be right.
For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts.
Oh my god.
Real apex predator over here.
Oh yeah.
And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular.
Shoomp, shoomp.
Let's go.
nature of the beast.
It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see. That a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? For a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garadeb, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts.
What is this piffle, I ask you?
In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you tried to keep in this very house.
What?
Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well... Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to, madam? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is? Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Protruding from it is a handbill advertising a circus show. Oh! Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garadeb. At Betty's Circus, a traveling show currently sojourning in a nearby park. I have observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe.
I most certainly did not.
I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire.
A rampaging Asiatic lion. Aftermath.
Now, Mr. Garadeb, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage.
Nonsense, man. I simply...
But what, we must now ask ourselves, is the true cause of this pain? And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer.
Leave it to Mr. Sholmes to decide it was a lion. You were keeping a lion in your home.
Yes, it is this pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. Oh! for cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. And so you had no choice but to let it go.
Yes, well,
Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, dearie me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? Ah! This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. Ah! There is no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an unsatiated appetite. Was it, or was it not, once said by a certain noblewoman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake. Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact. Whatever do you mean? Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There is only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet.
oh my god. Sir.
The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India.
What does that even mean?
He saw it.
He saw
It must be.
He seen the inside of a lion's mouth.
Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle.
Look at his face. Ah! What is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Garradeb. I'm afraid I didn't notice. My deductions can be startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times, too.
I'm
Oh!
shedding tears as we speak. Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation?
Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it, again?
Well, your deductions just now. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room of this size?
Indeed, it is the only explanation for the facts. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense.
But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well?
No, that's too easy.
That's too easy.
But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garradeb and his maid would have been hurt, or worse. Ah, that's where you are stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using that large cannon.
Wow.
Sure.
I I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus.
And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I have ever heard of a lion that drinks tea.
Ah, my dear Miss Susato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, here we go.
Oh my god.
They are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea.
Jesus.
It's just the British effect.
Oh yeah, everybody knows. That's like the first thing that happens when you step foot. Even if you are a lion, you're like, tea.
Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again.
I had a feeling that was coming.
A slight massage, that's all Mr. Sholmes' deductions need. You can do it.
Excellent. I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo.
Wow, we're partners now. We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe.
Let us start again from the beginning of Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular.
Here we go. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes.
Bring.
I really didn't see the lion thing coming.
No, but if you observe Mr. Garadev's reaction, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room.
Yes, something with a very fierce nature.
But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India.
So, what was it then?
We must follow Mr. Garadev's gaze. That will lead us to the true answer.
Oh. Oh, brother. What's this photograph?
It appears to be from Mr. Garadev's wedding. He looks very happy, doesn't he?
He does, but you can't make out his bride.
No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face.
I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply here.
The glass is broken, so you can't see the bride's face at all.
But no amount of cracks could hide the woman's plump form.
I think powerful would be kinder than plump, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, she certainly looks that. There's a lot of horsepower there. Not someone you'd want to upset, that's for sure.
Oh look, have you noticed her wedding ring? It's very large, isn't it?
Yes, that's an unusual design.
It looks like some sort of embellished sunflower.
I forgot we turned the Japanese voices on. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that newlywed bride.
Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. Definitely not a lion.
Definitely not a lion.
Yes, this framed print pictures your wife, Mr. Garadeb.
Look at how happy he looks.
And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured,
We can still make out her mighty arms, and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. They're literally just like, look at this. Oh my god, look at her guns. Oh,
indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast.
I don't know about that one, Chief. Honored might be stretching a point.
Too late! The fact remains that the beast, which so clearly savaged this room, was your wife, Mr. Garadeb.
Ah!
The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well. Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Okay, we're going back over.
Yep.
And the poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself.
Well, I don't know about fragile.
Oh, dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of a Mrs. Garadeb anywhere.
Huh, but it seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garadeb's wife could be.
What's this? Could this be a wedding ring?
She's wearing a very large ring. Look.
Oh yes, a sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the ring finger of her left hand, which means it's surely a wedding ring.
It looks like it's on there for life, too. I can't imagine it would slide off a finger of that size. God, Renosuke, you need to chill.
He needs to chill.
Oh my god. Give him a Susato takedown. Also, I think it is very funny that his head is shaped like a moon, and he gave her a sunflower.
Oh yeah,
sun
that's
ring.
cute. That's something to think, Mr. Naruhodo, not to say. Do you know Mr. Garadeb's wife in the photograph had a ring very much like this one? It was a large sunflower design as well.
What a coincidence. Really?
Mm-hmm.
You have a great memory for these things.
We just looked at it.
A large sunflower wedding ring. Where have I seen that before? It's quite a coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it? I'm just gonna present.
Cry!
Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
Oh! Indeed it does! That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Garadeb's bride in this photographic print.
Bro, are we gonna solve a marriage? In other words, you are no ordinary household maid.
No. You are Mr. Garadeb's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garadeb herself. Oh my word!
Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmised, this is my wife. Yes, my Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say, but she was a bally quarterback. Ah!
Yeah, you deserve that one.
Yep.
It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. You like her? I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct?
It's not right, I tell you. I was 2nd Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. Man has his pride, don't you know? Golly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ.
Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly.
You mean Mr. Garrideb has his wife work as his maid?
Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garrideb?
Only in company, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please. The raging wife of Mr. Garrideb. Solved.
Ragin.
Clunk. Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garrideb's wife a beast.
Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable.
Wow. But Mrs. Garrideb is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he?
Oh, how true! So perhaps that supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then.
According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garrideb's pain is tangible, though. What could that pose of his really signify? Yes, I wonder.
Yeah, right.
Oh my! Look at that bright red mark.
Gosh, that's quite something. And clearly made by somebody's hand.
Yes, Mr. Garrideb has been slapped on the face, it seems. Hard.
I've never seen such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing?
Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say.
Whoever could have done it.
Whoever could have done it. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek.
And of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade was you, Madame Joan Garrideb.
Get her boy eyes.
Ah, well, yes. You have been desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir.
Ah! How the blazes? How did you work that out, man?
Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow.
He's so pointy. Like, he's so pointy. His head is so long and pointy.
I wasn't expecting to see him full frontal like that.
Yeah, me neither. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view. And also, if you looked at us straight on, you might disappear. You know, like Flat Stanley.
Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. 4 inches wide. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Garrideb to fly into a rage. And I think they go back over the bills.
Okay.
Didn't Mr. Sholmes say that the bills were all for lion fodder?
Huh. Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed. Like anyone ever really thought that it existed in the first place. Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Garrideb's wife.
Mr. Naruhodo, she's a person, not a thing.
Oh my god.
I remember the date very well, for it was in the same month that Holmes refused a knighthood for services which may perhaps someday be described. I repeat, however, that this enables me to fix the date, which was the latter end of June 1902, shortly after the conclusion of the South African War. Holmes had spent several days in a bed, as was his habit from time to time, but he emerged that morning with a long foolscap document in his hand and a twinkle of amusement in his austere gray eyes. Whippersnapper.
Okay, and then we hide it. Alright, there we go. Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact.
Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder?
I'd love to know the answer to that question. Oh!
Someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Garrideb is clearly an avid reader. Something.
Oh. Wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark.
Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary.
Look next to the signature here.
Lip marks made with lipstick. Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture.
They just picked up a book for the first time in years. That's true. Don't get any ideas, Susato-san.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
So, this bookmark is actually a love note then. Huh. I mean, yeah.
Kurai love note.
Yes, it is this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer.
Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Perhaps the sender of this note. Oh, look how pissed she is.
Wow. Oh, she's ready to throw down. Oh my god.
A certain Miss Mary is the fly in the ointment here. Her fair fist is shaking. Oh!
Ah! But I don't know the ballet woman.
You don't know her?
That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there.
It was just in there, you say?
That's right. That's what I've been Oh!
A likely story.
Now listen here, John, old thing. I explained at the time. I bought the book at that second-hand place, and that note must already have been in there.
So, the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark.
That's right. That's what I've been
A likely story.
Oh, heaven's sake, woman. Look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you'd forgotten, is John. Ow!
A likely story.
Are you questioning my name now? Oh.
God, this man ain't gonna live through the day.
This man has like 1 hit point left.
And there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart, and you unleash a beast with a most ferocious bite. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. Clearly bitten by lion's teeth. This time, madam. The cakes!
Bong.
But surely Mrs. Garadab didn't eat the carpet?
No, of course not! But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is in is as a result of her wild temper.
No, that's not. No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction that we need to fix. We need only to follow Mrs. Garadab's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer.
Alright, let's see what we can see.
This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it?
The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. It looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over.
Oh dear, that would be dangerous.
Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing.
Yes, I didn't notice that before.
Why is that, I wonder? Why is one candle of the 3 missing from its holder?
Ah.
The carpet here has been ripped to shreds.
Yes, and according to Mr. Sholmes' deduction. Oh no. The tears match those made by an Indian lion's teeth exactly.
Oh, look here.
What is it?
If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks.
Oh, yes, so you can. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all.
Let's rethink this with that in mind. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick.
Most illuminating, my dear fellow. And of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth.
Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible.
Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away.
Scorch marks?
It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation.
At least Sholmes takes criticism and correction well. Yeah, it's true. Mrs. Garadab's mighty arm muscles left an impression, not only on her husband's face.
But on the entire room. The force of her strike caused a candle to fall from the holder.
And in seconds, the carpet was alight and the whole corner of the room in flames. Yes,
For the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire.
And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok.
Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there is but one conclusion here.
After the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire. Oh, he's getting up.
Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you!
Whoa! Where did your eyes go?
Oh, he's fucking dead.
Oh, his 1 HP. No HP.
She fucking cast shatter on his face. Yeah. Carpet scorched by a small fire. Cast shatter centered on someone's face.
Deduction complete. Elementary. It's these dashed long winter nights, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there.
And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material? For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems.
Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And beast is most certainly an apt. Ah, I deserved that one!
Here we go again. And the carpet? Was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell on the floor?
Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old Styx rage and the raging flames.
You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining.
That's sympathy for you.
Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being.
Wait, can we take a peek back there?
Over here, Mr. Garrett? Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you'll allow me. Whoa.
Wow.
Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke.
Gosh.
And the wife started hurling things at me.
What a terrible sight it must have been.
There was I, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire, incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite, book called The Lion's Pride.
The Lion's Pride? Ah, yes, your notorious love of big cats coming through again.
I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest.
So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage.
Mr. Sholmes' deductions turned out to be correct once again. He didn't make a single mistake at all.
That was amazing, Mr. Sholmes. How did you do that all by yourself? Hey! It can only be described as a great British wonder.
Just like the whole tea thing.
I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere. The old stick in full fettle.
Out of interest, what time of day was that?
Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see, around 5 o'clock, I think.
So at exactly the same time as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below.
Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. The whole of Blighty could have been flattened outside my window at that moment, and I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing.
Oh, really?
You got something explaining to do?
Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. What can I do for you?
Well, I think we've got to the bottom of Mr. Garridib's situation now. But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances?
I can't help you there, I'm afraid.
What?
My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be of relevance or not.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
I just knew you were gonna say that.
Now, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only two categories, those relevant to the case and those not.
That makes no sense to me.
Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now.
Sorry?
Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over.
Oh no, is it that time already?
If we are to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we have official paperwork to attend to.
So, that's it. No more time to think.
Perhaps you would like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now? I must prepare supper for Mr. Garadeb.
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry.
Thank you both very much for your time.
Soseki-san will be waiting for us. And I'm gonna have to give him an answer. She's gonna poison him. Yes, if you'll excuse me. This man requires a little arsenic in his tea.
19th February, Prior Road.
It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison.
Yes, I know. Let's hail a car. Oh,
What's the matter?
it looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garadib's house. Whoa. What? 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 What is this? What am I looking at?
A prince?
Okay. Huh. Alright, let's see. I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers.
Who are you calling an old man, you rum-looking niminy-piminy?
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Who's this Horatio fellow, eh? What are you on about?
Excuse me.
What the? Who are you now?
I'm sorry. It just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Narunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see.
Lawyer? What?
If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law. Oh no, a lit major.
Tisk. Fine. I'll be on my way for today. But you mark my words. This ain't over yet!
Okay. Catch thee to a nunnery!
Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you?
So smug.
I do hope you're not injured.
Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you. What was that all about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. I'm not Horatio either.
Forgive the inquiry, sir, but... Are you a lodger here? In the Garadeb residence?
Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode.
What?
Mr. Garrett mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he?
What?
This must be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor?
Ah, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy a polemist in my battle of words ne'er there could be.
Sorry, battle? What did you say?
Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night.
I see.
I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least.
So fair maiden, so good gentleman. I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well.
What? I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room.
It seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Soseki-san and that man as lodgers, the Garadeb house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage.
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return.
Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over.
"19th February, 6:31 p.m. Local prison, cell 9.
Oh! It's you. You're here. You came. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched.
We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, no. Think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never failing, Nipponese!
Nipponi!
Oh, no, let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. Wow, thanks for the follow, Pretty Ghost.
Thank you.
If I had to take a random guess, I would say that this is the Reaper of the Bailey.
I would assume so.
I hope I'm not. I hope I'm correct. There is nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand... Nope, it's Herlock.
Oh, it's Sholmes! Why is he here?
Listen, he's everywhere.
It is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact.
Oh, Jesus Christ, how did you get in here? I thought you were Van Zeeks.
You didn't even... Why did you ride in a separate carriage from us?
He goes
Such
where he
is my
pleases.
belief. At least.
Oh, it's you!
The miserable, rotten spy! Herlock Sholmes!
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here?
I like that he posed as the guy was shouting his name incorrectly. I have no intention of doing anything per se, save observing, of course.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring.
Gloomful room.
At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is the superior option.
Wow, I can't believe this prison cell is better than the place he was renting.
Do they pay window tax in prison?
Very good question.
Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight, and cost me not a penny.
Ah, you! How dare you, Herlock Sholmes! I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is bedamned!
Oh.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean.
And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words.
What?
Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. For the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial.
What's that supposed to mean? We'll find out, I suppose. Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed?
Oh no, why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it.
Oh, I see. That's really agitated him.
You don't mean trial really is cursed somehow?
Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey?
The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please tell me, summarize this succinctly in 16 salient words.
No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever.
Oh my goodness, can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly!
Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances.
Mr. McGill did.
What?
I am impressed, Miss Susato. You have an eye for detail.
Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Zieks killed the man himself.
Oh no, he couldn't have, surely.
You have some wonderful notions.
Sorry?
The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow.
He's a very scary court prosecutor.
He looks like he would drain the blood of human beings.
Oh, yes. Oh, why, of course he is.
Of course he is. Then why are you trying to scare me?
It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis.
What on earth do you mean by that?
The Reaper.
Zaripa. Van Zieks is a quite exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception.
Ah, that's good.
Soseki-san looks like he's gonna cry tears of joy.
As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system, whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion, in particular, is somewhat easily manipulated.
Right.
Criminals, and corrupt lawyers for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling impostors as witnesses, and so on. By such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury. which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail.
But it means the wrong verdict can be passed.
And sadly, is from time to time, my dear madam. It is simply the reality of the situation.
And that's all right?
However, those indicted by Lord Van Zieks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed.
Oh my!
He uses his vampire magic.
Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months, they all disappear. It is most striking.
Disappear? But how?
Ah, by all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever. Or perhaps attacked by highwaymen.
Sholmes, he's definitely a mass murderer. What are you talking about?
Oh, no.
All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo.
I knew it. I'm...
Dead! Dodo! Done for! Doomed!
When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room in Mr. Garrett's house, I assume. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed?
It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself.
That didn't take long then.
Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away.
You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time.
I've had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on Briar Road, a week ago now.
Yes. Why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient.
The rent is cheap. I have so little money it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops.
Oops.
He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late. So I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention it in the first place."
Yes. Well said.
But it was true. It was all true.
You mean the room really is cursed, then?
Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I'm being choked to death. In my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all? To believe. Yes, to believe.
Mr. Sholmes?
Ah, me, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what can I do for you?
It's about the case on the SS Buria, if you recall.
The Buria. Ah, that case. The one with the snake?
Well, yes. At that time, I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate.
I did I? Interesting.
What I want to know is, why? Why did you believe me?
I see, yes. You mean... because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room?
Well, if you like, yes.
I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it.
But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little.
I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me.
What?
You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in. What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I am concerned.
But I could have betrayed your trust.
In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment. Nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion.
Meaning?
Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself.
Yes, he's right! He's right, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! Whether or not I can believe myself.
A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself.
You were so right, Kazuma.
Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe.
Already?
Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me?
Dinner with Mr. Sholmes! Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there?
Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday, and although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in, the defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even. But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So, I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume.
It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it.
Yes, I think you're right about that. It's It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end.
Why did they show?
I don't know. I do not know. Miss Susato,
Yes?
would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court?
Absolutely.
As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
Did your client just vanish from his cell? No, listen, he's just cowering behind Miss Susato.
Yeah, he's very cleverly silhouetted behind her.
The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind, but it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me. Mr. Sholmes believes in me now, too. So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Sasaki-san has no one. He's all alone, so it's my job to help him. To fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. Very nice, very nice.
Oh!
Let's see. Let's do a little save-a-reno.
Clouded Kokoro.
Okay, I'm gonna save the trial part 1 for next time. I'm gonna start fresh and clean next time, so we don't just stop in the middle of the trial. Okay, everybody, it's been a short one today, but thanks for coming.
Oh, it's
I
fun.
think, yeah, we had to, I think, leave off a little early last time too. So, this just brings us back to equilibrium. So we should be able to get through like the trial portion next time. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. I will see you next time.
Yeah. See you next time. Thanks for coming, guys.
Bye.
Wee, 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 wee.